You know that feeling when you meet someone new and after a long stretch of feeling meh, something inside you finally lights up again? You start checking your phone a little too much. You feel that flutter in your stomach when you see his name. And even though you're trying hard not to get ahead of yourself, part of you whispers, maybe this guy is the one. Maybe he's different. But then almost out of nowhere, you feel it shift. He takes longer to reply, he pulls back, conversations get shorter, and your stomach sinks as you realize it's happening again. So you start to replay everything in your head thinking, was I imagining this whole thing? Did I say too much? Did I mess up? But the truth is almost never that simple, and honestly, rarely about something you did wrong. What's actually happening, something that most men can't clearly explain to themselves, is that before a guy can fully say yes to committing to you, he has to cross 4 hidden psychological barriers within himself. Now, these aren't the relationship milestones you'll hear about from your friends or through scrolling through YouTube or Instagram. They're subtle, they're internal, and they're silently shaping whether he moves toward you or backs away. Each of these checkpoints gradually lowers his resistance and shifts the internal story he's telling himself from feeling the loss of freedom to fearing the much deeper regret of losing you. So here's why this matters so much. Most women don't even realize these internal checkpoints exist, much less how to recognize when a guy is facing one or how to gently inspire him to cross it without losing her dignity. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through these 4 hidden checkpoints. I'll show you exactly what's happening inside his brain at each step and how your emotional courage, your skills, and the way you naturally show up can massively influence whether he stalls or wholeheartedly steps forward. Because when you understand these turning points clearly, you'll never again sit there replaying texts or conversations in your head at 2 in the morning. Instead, you'll feel him move from feeling intrigued but hesitant to knowing in his gut and his heart that losing you would hurt way more than developing the courage to commit. Think about standing at the edge of a high diving board. From below, it looks exciting and even easy, but once you're up there, toes curled up around the edge, looking down, something deep inside you tenses up. And suddenly your brain floods with reasons not to jump. What if I get hurt? What if I regret it the moment my feet leave the board? That hesitation, right at the brink of making a significant leap, is very similar to what many men feel when facing real commitment. But why is this hesitation so strong in men? Why do they seem to fear losing freedom more intensely than most women typically do? Well, part of this fear is biological. For thousands of years, men evolved to seek novelty, exploration, and independence, behaviors directly tied to survival and success. A man's sense of freedom became central to his identity, his self-worth, and even his sense of safety in the world. And culturally, we've reinforced this even more. Men grow up hearing that independence equals strength, and that settling down means giving something up, that committing deeply somehow threatens their autonomy. Now, this isn't just pop YouTube psychology. Leading evolutionary psychologists like Dr. David Boss, anthropologists like Dr. Helen Fisher, and neuroscientists like Dr. Luan Brizendine consistently highlight that men have deep biological and cultural conditioning behind this fear of losing freedom. Now, you might wonder, why do I have to figure this out? Isn't that his job? And you're absolutely right. It isn't your responsibility to train him, convince him, or manage his fears. But understanding these hidden checkpoints is entirely self-serving for you in the best possible way. It gives you clarity, leverage, and the emotional advantage you deserve to choose what's genuinely best for you. To shift from fearing the loss of freedom to fearing the much deeper regret of losing you, a guy has to cross 4 hidden psychological checkpoints inside himself. These checkpoints aren't obvious. Most guys don't even consciously recognize when they're inside one of them. Yet each one gradually changes this perception from feeling like commitment is giving something up to clearly realizing it's about gaining someone irreplaceable. And that's exactly what you and I, my dear, are going to explore together right now. Because when you clearly recognize these checkpoints, you finally know exactly where a guy truly stands. You don't have to second guess yourself. You'll just feel it clearly and directly so you can decide with zero doubt or BS if he's actually worthy of everything you have to give. Threshold number 1 is what I call the vividness threshold. Now, Think about grabbing coffee at the airport. It's fine. There's nothing technically wrong with it, but it tastes exactly the same every single time. Predictable, safe, forgettable, beige coffee. But every once in a while, you step into a little neighborhood coffee shop you've never been to before. And immediately you notice details that grab you. Music you haven't heard in years, the scent of fresh croissants drifting from the back oven, handwritten notes on the chalkboard, even a funny little quirk like mismatch different colored chairs. The coffee tastes richer, more distinctive. It's not the easiest or most convenient, but you can't stop thinking about going back. And that's exactly how this first threshold works for a man. At first, he feels sparks, excited and fully engaged, but without something deeper and uniquely vivid, sparks quickly fade into the airport coffee beige experience. Conversations turn generic, texts slow down, and his excitement flattens. This is because sparks do not create commitment, they create novelty and curiosity, and both fade fast without something to ground them. And right there is where most women miss what's happening inside him at this stage. Uniqueness shifts this experience in a heartbeat. He moves from seeing you as exciting but replaceable to genuinely intrigued because you're not like anyone else he recently met. Men commit more easily when something about you feels vividly unique, when you're the coffee shop he unexpectedly discovers and keeps revisiting. Now, here are 3 simple ways to create this shift and quickly filter out guys who can't handle your uniqueness. Number 1 is turn up the volume on your quirks. Share what you're genuinely obsessed with, like your oddly intense love for all school board games that you play with your family in the holidays, the irrational amount of happiness you get from organizing your spice drawer by color, or your secret tradition of binge watching reality TV to reset your brain after a stressful week. Number 2 is stop diluting your genuine reactions. When something lights you up, let your body show it fully. If a random moment genuinely touches you or brings tears to your eyes, like an unexpected kind gesture from a stranger or a timed song, let it happen without trying to look cool. If something feels off or confusing, name it instead of smiling politely. And number 3 is show him what your world is really made of. Bring him into what makes you, you. Maybe it's your Sunday ritual of long hikes, or your nerdy excitement about astrophysics documentaries that you stay up too late watching, or how passionately annoyed you get when people leave shopping carts in parking spaces. Your genuine love and hate reveal the texture of your real life in ways that small talk never will. These little moments of raw uniqueness separate you from every other beige interaction he's had. And yeah, some guys are not going to be able to handle your realness. And that's exactly the point. Let them filter themselves out, because the man who crosses this vividness threshold feels your distinct edges, your honest reactions, your little quirks, and that's exactly what he's excited about and what draws him closer to you. And once he's crossed it, he's ready for the next threshold. Now, if you're single right now, there's probably one big reason why that's not immediately obvious to you. After coaching hundreds of women around the world through just about every dating challenge you can imagine, I've realized that most women miss the real reasons they're still single. And that's why I've created a quiz to help you finally pinpoint your exact attraction blind spot, the hidden pattern that's keeping you from the relationship you want. If you want to discover your unique blind spot, all you have to do is click on the first link on the description of this video. You're going to see a page that looks like this. Answer a few simple questions, and in about 60 seconds, you'll get your custom report. And not only will you finally have clarity on why you're still single, you'll also get one powerful, specific action step for your specific blind spot you can start using today so you can attract the relationship you've always been waiting for faster than you thought possible. Threshold number 2 is what I call the deeper current. Imagine scrolling through Netflix, searching for something new. It's late at night, you're tired, and you click a trailer because the thumbnail looks catchy, but 20 seconds in, it's all explosions and predictable cliches. So you roll your eyes, sigh, lose interest, and keep scrolling. But then another show catches your attention. It's not flashy, doesn't have a cool thumbnail, doesn't seem to be trying too hard. It just feels real. The story pulls you in, the characters feel relatable, and before you realize it, you're completely hooked. You're not invested because it's perfect, but because it feels true and relatable to your heart. This is exactly how the second threshold works for men. At this point, he's already intrigued by your uniqueness. He knows you're not just another generic date or beige coffee shop experience. But uniqueness by itself is not enough for real connection. For commitment to deepen, he needs something more. He needs to feel you emotionally beyond your quirks and your awesome charm. Society keeps pushing the BS lie that chemistry is everything, that you'll know the moment you see him, that excitement and surface level attraction are enough for lasting commitment. Lasting commitment happens when he feels emotionally connected, when he senses you're letting him into who you really are underneath. Here's what really happens at this stage, even though most guys can't fully put it into words. He moves from liking you because you're unique and interesting to feeling invested because he senses your vulnerability and emotional depth beneath the surface. He starts caring, not just caring about how exciting it is to be with you, but about the person you truly are behind all of that excitement and awesomeness and beauty and charm. So here's 3 practical ways to let him feel your emotional depth and vulnerability, which is the key in this threshold, without overdoing it. Number 1, let him see when you don't have all your stuff figured out. Start sharing moments where you're honestly unsure, and maybe you're thinking about switching careers and you're not sure how you feel about that yet, or you're trying to navigate something tricky with your family. It's not about dumping problems on him. It's about letting him see you are human, even when things aren't really resolved yet. Number 2 is own up to little mistakes without downplaying them. Instead of hiding small mistakes, admit when you've messed up. Like maybe you misjudged a friend's intention, or maybe you realized later that you handled a situation poorly or badly. Saying, yes, I could have done better or differently shows you're secure enough to own your imperfections instead of pretending you've got this whole thing figured out. Stop playing it cool, basically. Number 3, tell him when he makes a difference and mean it. When he does or says something that genuinely affects you, let him know clearly and simply. Tell him specifically how a small gesture made you feel cared for, or how a comment he made stayed with your heart. Men rarely hear sincere, specific appreciation, and when they do, it creates a lasting emotional impression. These moments are not loud or dramatic or rehearsed, they are real. They're human and they're emotionally honest. They separate casual attraction from real emotional investment. And some guys might feel uncomfortable with your vulnerability and your honesty or your emotional openness, but that's fine. Let them filter themselves out. You want somebody who's ready for depth, not just sparks, because the guy who crosses this deeper current threshold isn't just drawn in by novelty or chemistry. He sticks around because he genuinely feels connected to the real, imperfect, emotionally honest, beautiful woman underneath that you are. And once he feels that deeper connection, he's ready for more. Threshold number 3 is what I call the irreplaceable factor. Now, at this point, something different starts happening inside of him. He's no longer just intrigued. He's emotionally invested. He feels drawn to you. But here's something a lot of women never see, and honestly, most guys barely notice it themselves. Feeling emotionally close isn't the same thing as feeling irreplaceable. In fact, there's a hidden question starting to build inside of him that he probably won't share, but you need to know about. And that question is, am I special to her or am I just convenient? If I disappeared tomorrow, would she quickly replace me or would she miss something specific about me that she can't easily find again? Men don't fully commit just because they feel desired. They commit when they feel uniquely admired, specifically valued, and appreciated in ways they rarely experience with someone else. Now, here's why this matters deeply for men. Research from evolutionary psychology and sociology shows that men are socialized to associate their identity and self-worth with competence, capability, and achievement. Evolutionary psychologist Dr. David Boss clearly explains men evolved to strive for social respect and admiration because historically, being recognized for competence meant survival, success, and influence within their community. Women often prefer feeling adored, cherished, loved, and deeply connected. But most men thrive on genuine admiration, being respected and valued for their unique strengths. It fuels their emotional courage and reinforces their sense of purpose. Psychologist William James captured it well. He said the deepest principle in human nature is the craving to be appreciated. Now, for men, genuine appreciation isn't just powerful, it's essential. It inspires him to step forward, invest deeply, and feel irreplaceable in your eyes. Now, here are 3 subtle but powerful ways to create this shift naturally. Number 1, notice the details he never points out. Catch small things he does without realizing it, like how he matches your walking pace or remember small things about your day without having to be reminded of. Validating these moments makes him feel specifically seen, not for trying, but for who he already is. Number 2 is tell him exactly what you genuinely admire about him. Clearly name real qualities you deeply respect, not generic praise, but specifics like, hey, I really admire how grounded you are when things get tough, or how you treat the people around you, how you care about them makes me respect you even more. Men rarely get to hear these deeper strengths or have them acknowledged, and it makes a huge difference for us. Number 3, make it clear he's not just another nice guy. Be clear about why being with him specifically feels different. Be honest, like there's something about being with you that just makes me feel safe, or with you, I never have to feel like I have to hold back or second guess what I'm saying. This signals he's genuinely irreplaceable. Crossing this threshold matters because it goes beyond attraction or closeness. It creates a shift from emotional connection to feeling uniquely admired and seen, something he can't easily find or replace again. The moment he feels genuinely replaceable to your eyes is the moment that starts changing everything and starts deepening commitment at the highest level. Now, threshold number 4 is what I call the fear flip. Imagine you've been waiting months for the job entropy of your dreams. But the night before, anxiety knocks on your door and kicks in, and suddenly staying at your current job starts feeling a little safe and comfortable for a moment. You start convincing yourself you don't need the stress, and what you already have maybe is good enough. But then just as you're about to cancel that meeting, something punches you. The real risk isn't the interview itself. It's missing out on the future you've always wanted. Your chest tightens as you realize you'd regret not taking that chance far more than you'd regret trying and facing rejection. This is exactly how the final threshold works for a man. Early on, commitment can feel risky. It seems to threaten the independence and options he's grown used to. So he might think it's safer to keep his options open and play it safe. But at this crucial point, a deeper fear surfaces, one that's stronger and clearer. The fear that if he lets this go, if he lets you go, he'll deeply regret it. That is a real turning point. And the most important thing you need to know today about commitment. Men don't commit because freedom stops mattering to them. They commit the moment the thought of losing you clearly outweighs the comfort of staying safely uncommitted. And the smartest of men redefine freedom from I do what I want with whom I want to I'm free to love and be loved. The writer Anna Isnin captured this beautifully when she said, and the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. But this shift doesn't happen randomly or in a vacuum. It occurs naturally when you hold genuine boundaries and communicate clearly without pressure or ultimatums what you genuinely want, what you deserve, and what you're willing to do to honor it. So here are 3 nuanced, practical ways you can naturally inspire him to cross this threshold without drama or pressure. Number 1 is clearly owning your exclusivity standard. Let's say he wants to have sex before you're ready and before he's fully invested or in a relationship with you. You could say something like, hey, I'm really attracted to you, and obviously my body would love nothing more than to take things further. But at the same time, I've learned the hard way that for me to feel good in my heart, I only get intimate when I'm in a committed relationship. If we reach that point together, trust me, I'll be very excited. Number 2, gracefully stepping back when he's unclear. Imagine you reach that conversation where you talk about what you ultimately want in a committed relationship, not with him, but in general. And this could happen early on in the dating process. And he plays the I'm confused or I don't know what I want card. You could say something like this. I completely understand you're figuring out what you want, and I deeply respect your honesty and you sharing that with me. For me, it feels right to invest my energy only in someone where we're both clear and aligned. If things become clear for you later on, feel free to reconnect with me. I'm open to seeing where we're both at that moment. Or number 3, expressing how good consistency feels to you. So let's say he's been consistent and starts pulling back or slightly breadcrumbing. You could say something powerful like, I really love spending time together, especially when we're consistent and intentional about it. I've noticed lately things have felt a little different, less clear, less intentional from you. And I wanted to share this because consistency matters a lot to me. Knowing I can count on our plans makes being together even better. If that feels good to you, I'd love to keep prioritizing this and you. Now, these statements clearly signal your value and standards without pressure, and they naturally inspire a healthy tension, the realization that he genuinely can't afford to lose someone like you. Because once he truly feels irreplaceable in your eyes, and he feels you're irreplaceable, there's no turning back. Look, I want you to hear this directly from me. You deserve this. You deserve to feel chosen and to inspire real commitment. not because of some game or tactic, but because of exactly who you are and how courageously you show it in action when it actually matters. This isn't about him. You deserve to be unique. You deserve to be vulnerable. You deserve to be expressive and to show your worth through boundaries. When you hold that beautiful tension between being fully, passionately alive and having genuine standards, you become impossible to replace. You're like a magnet and a rare gem all in one. You're unique. You're exactly what the right guy has been looking for, and you don't have to settle for anything less. You've absolutely got this, and I believe in you. And if this was helpful and meaningful, here's how you can support my work. You can click like and subscribe, and you can share this with someone who needs to hear this. This is the way I can share my gift and my message to women. And if you want to continue learning how you can attract the guy you want without any gimmicks, manipulation, or stupid techniques, make sure to watch the next video right here.